Hello.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Steph Beckett, and this is
rePLAY
Meg.
ISC West 2024 with
Girl, say your
Megan.
name.
Yeah, with Megan Detta.
We're doing great. So yes, in this event, we are replaying ISC West. This is not exactly a new show for us to cover, but it's newer. This was our second or third year covering this show, I want to say, but we are only going to cover this more and more because security is only going to become more and more important to Pro AV. Megan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we see this a lot. There is a whole security integration market that we can tap into because there's so many similar technologies. Like when you look at command and control rooms, we've talked a lot about the convergence of AV and IT, and I think this is kind of all folds into that because obviously IT, cybersecurity, physical
Right.
security is a huge part of that world as well.
And in this event, you're going to see how security not only plays into those like very government command and control centers, but also even to your home and even to your smart home, because a lot of the technologies you build into your smart home also have to do with security. So a lot of these technologies you've probably already seen, already heard of, but you might not be integrating them yet. And I'm going to be honest, you probably will soon in the next
Yeah.
year. So,
One of the things,
um,
like back in the day in the Pro AV market, they used to say that like the consumer market would follow Pro AV, and now it's a little bit
mhm.
more of the opposite. But I think with security, that's how we're going to see it. Is we're going to see all these like top secret innovations come out for corporations, government use, and then it's going to trickle into the home as people, people are securing their homes more and more. I mean, with the explosion of things like the Ring camera
Yeah,
and any
exactly.
kind of surveillance for their homes.
Exactly. Like it's just going to become so fully intertwined with what we already are focusing on. So, first things first, let's just kind of flip through a few show floor photos so we can give you a little idea of what this show looked like. It's in Las Vegas, so we'll be there, in a short month or so when we're back for InfoComm. But yeah, here's a little bit of ISC West. This is right outside in the lobby area. Let's look at a few
And this
more of
is at,
these.
it used to be called the Sands Convention Center. Now I think it's just the Venetian Expo.
Yeah.
So it's not at the convention center like where many AV pros are used to. It's a little bit smaller of a space, and the booths are a lot smaller, as you can see. There's not as many large kind of showcasey booths.
Yeah, but very busy show. Like clearly,
Yeah,
like this is something people care about. But it's interesting because this is like some people that you already know, like some AV people, but a lot of people who are just from the traditional security industry. But this is cyber, this is physical, this is all of the above. I think we got a couple more pictures to show you here. If we could just, yeah, here we go. So here's ADI, which a lot of you already know, ADI Edge. ADI is their more security focused end. Or ADI, yes, wasn't it ADI and
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and we also have a security newsletter for those of you who don't know and aren't signed up. You should get signed up, and we can have our team drop that link in the chat for you to get signed up for that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're covering a lot more traditional security technologies in with our traditional Pro AV. And we decided to make a newsletter because we are realizing there is this whole other audience that is interested on our end and wants to learn more about security. But then there's like a whole other audience of traditional security who don't know anything about AV. So we're kind of trying to bring all those people together. So let's continue on. Let's get into products. That's what everyone wants to see anyway, right? So
Right.
First, let's play. This is from Bogan. And this is the wall baffle. We've covered this a little bit on Rave Pubs, but we'll let him kind of talk about it. And when we're not talking and he's talking, if you just want to turn it up, you can hear a little bit better.
Messaging through the display. So that's a message here. You can also see the flasher we have. It actually comes in 7 different colors. And this product is an IP product that works with our Bogan Nyquist system that is available. If you have any other further questions, reach out to bogan.com.
So yeah, we've got a lot packed into that little product. We've got putting a message on the front of that wall baffle speaker. It obviously has audio, and then it has light included in it as well. What were you gonna say,
and I
Megan?
like
I'm
that
sorry.
it's part of the larger Nyquist system. So they make everything really easy to integrate.
Exactly. So in the next video, this is from Axis Communications. This is its dome camera. So we've got a few cameras, PTZ, obviously for physical security purposes, for a school, for a retail store, that kind of thing. So we're going to show you this video next. And like I said, I think we've included the audio on this one, so you might want to turn it up.
Camera with integrated microphones and an 86 decibel speaker that also has integrated analytics that can support stressed voice and cough detection. This camera is specifically designed with healthcare in mind to do patient monitoring within healthcare institutions. We are super excited to bring this product to market because we know it is going to make healthcare institutions more efficient. It's going to assist nurses in their day-to-day work and applications, and it's going to help provide a higher level of patient care. This is also going to fit a number of...
So interesting thing about Axis, they actually make audio products and video products. So they have you covered no matter what type of security product you're looking for. I would definitely recommend checking out all of their product videos on ravepubs.com because Axis, I learned a lot about them just from watching these product videos and things I didn't even know that they made. So definitely check that out. But let's kind of continue on our little audio tour here. So this product from Bosch, this is the Presenza IP public address system. And this is showing Bosch's 8-channel amplifier, and they've got even an extra, like a 9th amplifier channel to kind of create peace of mind if one of those things goes wrong. So this is all part of its, like I said, the Presenza IP. It's like a public address system used for your school, for anywhere where you might need to get your announcement out quickly and clearly to everyone within a space. So let's talk about this one from Biamp now. This one's really interesting. This is a sound masking audio distribution system. So I'll let him kind of explain it a little bit better than I can in this video.
Added to the QTX system, we have wall mount and gooseneck and handheld versions. We have stored messages on the inside. We allow for very, very simple paging solutions, but also inside the QTX system, we allow for triggered playback and scheduled playback of those messages. To find out more about speech privacy from Biamp inside the QTX system, visit
So he's really covering like the paging add-on of that product, but you can watch the full kind of overview of the entire sound masking system in the full video on YouTube or on RavePubs.
And one of the things he mentioned, Steph, is speech privacy, which is huge in security. And think about all of those government installations. You know, sometimes you might not even want other people in the room knowing what you're saying. So I think we're going to see a lot more of those innovations, even in Pro AV for things like, you know, corporate conferencing.
Yeah, and even think of, like you were saying, even think about this in a corporate setting where, you know, potentially you have a flex space that's sometimes being divided into 2 different rooms. You don't obviously want those 2 meetings that are happening in this flex space to be heard. So maybe putting up like a temporary wall separator and some sound masking systems can really help a space like this have 2 concurrent meetings without one interrupting the other. So they're really like plenty of uses for this, even beyond like traditional like security purposes.
Right.
Like there's plenty. So let's kind of talk about command and control though, because we have a few like companies that we know really well in our industry, but we're looking at them in a command and control setting when we are at ISC West. So first, one of those is Barco. And in this video that we're going to show you, Barco is talking about its control platform. And you can see as he's gesturing, they have the control platform being showcased in 2 different settings. So the one that he's gesturing at now is like a small desk with 3 monitors, and then he's got the larger display in the back. There's no limit to the number of monitors you can do this with. So that's why he's like showcasing it in a few different conglomerations. And also like both of those are utilizing the, the Unicy, 2, I think the LCD panel.
Yep. And you'll see that the Winstead logo in the background. So they work a lot with Winstead on things. I think we have a video from them coming up in a little bit, but I know even at last year's ISC West, they had a partnership and they shared a booth, and they do a lot of projects together.
Which is interesting. That is something I didn't know until we like covered this show. So I was like, oh, like that's interesting. Like, because we're just so used to seeing Barco, but mostly through its projectors, through ClickShare. So that like, you know, a command and control was just a little bit different of a
and
focus.
even the Unicy, I mean, typically like in Pro AV, you'd see it in more of a digital signage application.
Yeah, because it's bezel-less, you know, it's
Right.
perfect for a digital signage setting, but you don't think that, oh, wait, this would actually be perfect for a command and control setting where you need to look at 18 different things and they need to none of them be pixelated. So yeah, it makes a ton of sense.
Screens that we have use for in Pro AV, we're going to watch a video from Planar next when they're going to talk about their 136-inch all-in-one with IR touch sensors.
Today we're showing in the Planar booth our 136 all-in-one. So the 136 all-in-one sells for under $40,000. It's a 1.5 pixel pitch. It also is touch enabled, so that bezel you see around it is not just for protection, it is also an IR touch sensor. It has 4 HDMI inputs in it, so you can go ahead and hook up to 4 cameras and watch it in quad view if necessary. Thank you.
And Steph, one of the other things I think we aren't talking about so much is that these, you know, we typically say in Pro AV, like, oh, audio, obviously, like we're having an event, audio is like more important than the visual. But you know, in security, it might be the opposite. When we're looking at these displays, they really have to be crystal clear. The content has to come up in real time because yes, they are listening for things, but I think there's a lot more things going on with the visuals than the audio.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few products, and I can't remember which ones I think we've included a few of them in the lineup today, but the idea is that they have to identify something as a threat to be able to like send a notification to the rest of the technology to either alert someone or do something. And so the visuals are really important. They have to like pick up on this person, or they have to pick up that this person is holding a weapon. And then obviously they have to send that notification, that video feed to someone else in order to like do something about it. Right. So yeah, obviously like them picking that up, because you can't like, you know, you can't hear that someone has a weapon exactly,
right, like
unless
the
they're
gunshot
actively
detection
using
systems.
it. Yeah. So these kind of visual systems are just as important. That was a good point, Megan. So we also have our friends at Jupiter. You guys might recognize them, big 21.9 people over at Jupiter. And they're actually using their 21.9 display to show how this works in another command and control setting. So instead of having like a few 16:9 displays that you put up on the wall, they're like, hey, you could just use a 21.9. And while, you know, this was initially made for Microsoft Teams, this was initially like that kind of concept for front row. This is actually perfect for a command and controls type setting where you need to look at, you know, however many different video feeds and put it all on one display and just stick that on the wall. So this was showing the 21.9 display. They were using a few small wall processors and then the PANA 34s. So yeah. Megan, are you super familiar with RGB Spectrum?
A little bit, yeah. I've worked with them in the past, and they have some really cool devices. We're about to showcase their Extend Point KVM over IP solution.
Yes.
So, do you want me to talk or do you want to talk?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Go ahead, sorry.
So this one controls 8 controllable devices. It's the KVM control as you move the mouse over each source. And each one of the sources is available native over the video wall processor.
Very cool. So you mentioned Winstead before and how they shared a booth with Planar. And so
with
this
Barco.
is it, or Barco. Yes, sorry, I can't read. So Winstead shared a booth with Barco at ISC West, and this is the Pinnacle console, and it has internal lighting, a lift-off panel. It's got like a ton of features. I couldn't even fit them all into the title of the video, so we'll let him talk about it a little bit better and more than I can.
so that when you're managing all of your cables and performing any service, that you don't have to worry about having a flashlight in your mouth or a headlamp on. We also have this entire area down here with liftoff panels that we can bring cabling in and out through the wire mesh at any point in the floor. We also have a second tier of cable management, and this area right here also included with
Like, there's so many
the
features.
mesh cable management, so that we can pull cables up and down from PCs or integrated equipment racks. And then when we take our cable management over to our energy chains that go up to the work surface, and this is where things get really interesting with Pinnacle. Pinnacle is the only console on the market that features a rolling work surface that offers a full technology tray at the top of the console. So the technology,
Yeah, and he's like,
the
also this
technology
is
tray is
like,
also,
okay, that might as well happen.
a wire mesh cable tray, but there's also integrated
I
power
love
data
things that
in the
make an
backside
install look very
that
clean,
supports
and
all
this
your
definitely
customer
does.
requirements.
Yeah, this is another one of
Whether
those
it's
things
power
that's
for
like really
monitors,
interesting because
power for,
it's
AV
totally
peripherals, small form
pretty
factor
much,
PCs,
you know, traditional AV. Like, this is perfect for to hold your AV rack. But this is also going to be important for security because you need something to hold all of that technology that's powering your security system. And you're going to want that to be clean. And when you are looking at it, if something goes wrong, you probably have some fail safes in place, but you're going to need to you're going to need to open it, take a look. It's nice that it's lit on the inside so that you can see like what cable you're potentially pulling. So yeah, it's perfect for a really clean and organized install, which is really important in both security and AV. So
moving on from control rooms, I want to talk about one of my favorite topics within the last year, which is AI. And I know we've had a little bit of a discussion, I think, on some of our events before about like, is AI really being used in Pro AV? Kind of, sort of, right?
yeah.
But in security, most definitely. I think they have some really advanced things, whether it's for just simple like people counting, which can also be used for digital signage applications, whether it's for surveillance. I mean, I've even seen AI being used to like open gates for cars and things, and detect like where things are moving within a facility. There's so many different uses, and obviously it was everywhere at the show. And I think let's pull up a video first from our friends at Atlas ID, who you're not used to hearing their name synonymous with AI, but they recently invested in the encompasses company / product. So let's check that out.
Product and a company that we've recently made a significant investment in, and this product is called encompasses. Encompasses is an AI camera technology. It's server-based, and it works with any camera that is IP. It allows us to see something as small as a water spill.
Oh wow, and yeah, it's like picking people up in real time.
Up to something as large as a vehicle.
That's the visitor aware system, is it?
We have the ability now,
I think is what it's called.
Yeah, I think so. Encompasses, I know, is the name of the overall.
As an example.
But I think we're going to see things like that a lot more. I mean, we've seen them, I feel like, in the past at digital signage shows, more for like facial detection, like detecting, is it a man, is it a woman, what's their age, and especially for things like retail where they're doing more targeted advertising.
Yeah.
And I think that the technology level in security is a little bit higher, and that's definitely going to come into play in the Pro AV and digital signage field soon.
For sure, it's going to do good things. So Epic.io is another really cool company, and they were showing their universal IoT gateway. This particular part of the video, he shows a few things in the full video, and you can watch the full thing on Rave Pups or on YouTube, but he talks about how there is a gunshot sensor tied to that PTZ camera that he keeps pointing to, and with the technology, the camera pans to where the gunshot came from. So obviously, like, the audio portion is really important. I think the audio goes first, and then the camera follows where that audio came from. And then I think within that, it sends like a signal to local law enforcement, or it can be programmed to do that. So
and definitely check out that full video because there's a lot more to that product. I think the video went on for a little bit after that, and they have just a ton of really cool future forward things.
Exactly. Megan, do you want to introduce the next one?
Sure. The next video is from IP Video, and I was just talking about people counting. So they have the Halo Amplify sensors for people counting, and it's an IoT sensor. So there's multiple offerings, but the one that we're showing today counts people. It shows their dwell time, how many people are in a space at any given time, how many total people have come through this, the space within a certain time span. And this, I think, has so many uses. I mean, you could use it literally in any setting, fire marshal control, even
Mhm.
at like a trade show, let's say. Fire marshals are always worried about things like that, or even at like a nightclub. Really, you could be using this anywhere where you have capacity limits and need to be aware of them.
Yeah, that's really cool. Next, okay, so we're going to talk about an event that was not ISC West, but was an event promoted by an organization at ISC West.
Yes.
So PSA Tech is coming up. So PSA Security Network is a really cool organization within a kind of like not quite AV, but they partnered with an AV organization. So it's kind of like pro AV integrators, security integrators, they got them all. So it's actually a really cool organization. And PSA Tech is coming up. So this is coming up for the 2024 year. And this is May 13th through 17th at the Hyatt Regency Dallas. And this is the organization says this is the most powerful event for security integrators, and it focuses on education and networking for all of its organization's members and those professionals. The keynote actually sounds really exciting. That's going to be leveraging AI for good. So Megan, that sounds actually right up your alley.
I know. I'm so excited. It's going to be by Zach Cast. He's an AI futurist, and if we weren't so busy prepping for InfoComm, I would probably be asking them for an invite because I think it sounds really cool.
I know. But like May is literally like such a scary time to try to go. But yeah, no, that event looks actually really awesome. I would love to cover it in the future. So if anyone from PSA is watching, maybe
Candace.
Candace, we'd like to come cover it next year. So we've got a few more product/solution, because some of these are not technically products, videos to show you guys. So, Megan, talk about the virtual twin. This one is for you.
I handpicked this one. Headwall, we met them at InfoComm last year, and they do some really cool different things, but this video in particular is showing a digital twin of a command center via a VR headset.
So right here, as you can see the app, this is what you would see in your VR headset. You would see different video windows, just like you would see in your command center, but this is all virtual. So you can be from a different building, you can be from a security van, or even on the beach, and see everything you can normally see in your security center.
We had our team do this at InfoComm, and they were stuck at the booth for quite a while. And we had a lot of our reporters ended up heading over there to test it out themselves, and they really enjoyed it. I can't do VR headsets, but the ones that did said it was really cool and like very realistic. And I think we're going to see more of them in the future.
Yeah, I also I have a hard time getting behind VR headsets. I have made that very clear. But I don't know. I just don't know. I think that is cool. Do I know that is practical? No. But I also am not working in security. Like, I don't know if you would rather have a VR headset. If you need to have 170 16:9 windows open that you want to expand and contract, and you need to do it really quickly, that's probably going to be a lot easier than just having a giant display in front of your face with 170 windows open. Because with your headset, you can kind of pick and grab the ones that you want to bring up really quickly. But I don't know, does it make it harder? For anyone who's watching, let me know what you think. If you think that is a security product that you could see really taking off in the future, or do you think that is a little too specific? I actually do not know, and would love to know what others' opinions are.
Yeah, digital twins are, I think, going to be very popular more and more so coming up. So it'll be interesting to see how they can adopt those with or without headsets.
Yeah. This next video from NICE. So we're, like Megan had kind of mentioned earlier, this even kind of extends into the home and what home management has to do with security. So this video from NICE, if you want to go watch the full thing, he talks a little bit about how this is a home management solution that they offer, and that includes a lot of automation and control and distributed audio, and how that can all together create some home security and safety for someone. So, ISC West is interesting because it's kind of like, what is security? Is it cybersecurity? Is it security for a store?
It's all
Is
of
it?
those things.
It's all of it.
And
Yeah.
they, their booth, typically they have a wide variety of solutions. It's not just for the home.
Yeah.
So
But
check out their videos.
Yeah. But I'm glad that we included that one because it was important to be like, they actually had home security solutions too. So this next company was kind of similar. So Doorbird, we all probably know them. They're at Infocom, they're ISC, like ISE, the one that's in Barcelona. And they're also at ISC West because having an intercom outside of a commercial building, that's considered security as well. But Doorbird actually brought solutions for your home, for maybe a multi-dwelling or an apartment, or for some like two-way like communication within a corporate setting too. So we're going to play you this video. This is for its D1101KV. This is an IP video intercom. So we're going to show you that.
And from the door, when your visitor comes up, they press a button, you get a notification on your app, and then immediately you can see video and you can talk two-way audio and decide if you're going to let them in or not.
So yeah, this is the one that they mentioned is like good for commercial, like a commercial space. But as you can see, there are a few on that table, and they had some for a multi-dwelling, some for an apartment complex, some for maybe a single family or two family type of home, like a duplex. So yeah, they had plenty of options, but
I think they have a few videos on our site, so you can check out many more of those.
Exactly. Next, another company that you probably know and probably also love. This is Snap One. So yeah, Snap One has really been in the news lately because they just got acquired by Residio. Is that how you say it? Residio? I don't know.
I say Residio, but I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, well, you guys know who we're talking about. Residio is obviously a really big company within the home AV space, and they just acquired Snap One. So be really interesting to see how that goes. So Snap One was at ISC West showing its episode Radiance, which you probably already know. This is kind of like an outdoor sound system, completely modular. And they kind of go through a little bit about what that looks like and what that has to do with security. It's kind of another one of those audio. It can help you with your security system in your home or in kind of a small commercial space.
Possible by our MB1 device that splits those different frequencies out to be able to carry that out there. Great for if you have an existing landscape lighting system and you'd like to add audio to it, or vice versa. The system's completely modular, so you can on any of our mounts. And
then I think he's gonna like at some point like pull it off the wall and show that you can like.
There we go.
Yep.
On your install. Besides our episode Radiance product,
show how like simple the installation is. So very cool. We got a couple more here for you. So this next one, X10 AV, you guys obviously really know them. They're traditionally an AV design and proposal software, but the company was at ISC West because they talked about within this software, it's important to have security and file safety features included in the platform. So security even extends to, something that an integrator could use to keep their files safe and sound. So if security is something you're working on day to day, or if you're working on something top secret or with government, this is still potentially an important platform for you to be able to use.
And Steph, I think at ISC West in the past, and from the videos this year, there are several companies that are in this kind of arena design proposal that we're seeing AV that are also in security or that are in security. And I've been like, hey, you should be in AV because we have such similar things right now. I think that's one thing, another thing that the industries have in common. They both need those, softwares, and they need them to be secure.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the last videos we were going to show you is a little bit about how a traditionally distributor in the AV space is working on distributing a little bit more of security. So TD SYNNEX partnered with Epic.io. And in this video, you can watch the full thing on YouTube or on Rave Pubs. They talk about how even distributors are like seeing how important security is going to be in AV, and how, you know, companies like TD SYNNEX are starting to invest in trying to, you know, work on getting a hold of these more traditionally security products and putting them in the hands of AV integrators. So I thought that was kind of an important and interesting thing that we're going to see more of.
We definitely will. And I know I talked to TD SYNNEX ahead of the show, and they were raving about Epic.io. They sent me several products for them that they were really excited about. And I think it ties back to that AI part of it. They're really moving that forward.
Yeah. And yeah, as you were saying, AI and Epic.io are two things that are like, they're really, really into it and trying to push that forward. So interesting. We have kind of a funny...
I was going to say, we have one more video, and I love your notes on this video.
They're really unhinged. So take a look at this. And if you don't like that and that makes you uncomfortable, same. So you've probably seen these. These have been at InfoComm before. These have been at ISE before. And these are, I guess, robot dogs, ? But products like this are being pitched for like a university's campus security, because I don't know exactly about this brand of them. There are a few competitors out there, but some of them can run up to 7 miles an hour. They can swim, they can climb. So like if you are a person who is potentially has bad intentions, like coming onto a college campus after hours or something,
I think I've seen these like in the subways.
Yeah, like they have cameras in the front so they can get a good picture of someone who has bad intentions or someone who's like actively committing a crime. But yeah, I'm actually like a little bit horrified as someone who, as a child, watched iRobot with Will Smith. It's like a little too close to home, you know? Like maybe...
Yeah, I think they're a little scary and police state-ish, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like maybe these are gonna be sentient one day, and that's a little worrying for me. But anyway, so I hope you have enjoyed this. This was like just scratching the surface of things that we saw at ISC West. So if you want to see all of the product videos that we got about 45 of them. You can go to ravepubs.com. You can also go to the Rave Pubs YouTube page. We have all of them there too. So yeah, Megan, any closing remarks?
I am just excited to be working on this with you and watch this market grow within Rave and within Pro AV in general.
Same. And for those of you who are interested, you can, of course, subscribe to our security newsletter. Just go to ravepubs.com. At the top right, there is a little subscribe button, and you can subscribe to any and all of the newsletters that you want. We have like 11 or 12. So anything that you are interested in, from Pro AV to security, we have a newsletter that is specifically for that market. So go ahead and subscribe. Happy watching, happy reading, and thank you for watching me and Megan and spending 30 minutes of your afternoon with us.
Bye.
Bye.